Hey guys, this is Carlene Clearwater with Kickass Marketing and Creative, and this is my Throwback Thursday Facebook Live video series, and this is video number 3, I think. And today I'm talking about this Pinterest wheel. Man, I'm psyched about this. So last weekend I met up with my friends, John and David from the Debt Free Guys. Shout out to them. We had a great coffee meeting, and we were just kind of, getting together, shooting the shit, talking about what we're doing with our businesses. But we were talking about how they were starting to use Pinterest to promote their business, and it made me remember this good old Pinterest tool that I actually got at FinCon, which is a conference for personal finance bloggers primarily and business owners. And I went with the Debt Free Guys a couple years ago, back in, I think it was 2012. Oh gosh, 2015. And I went with them to the event to help them work the event, work their business. But while I was there, one of the booths was this company called Ahalogy, which, see that? Which I loved anyways, because obviously a couple years ago, everybody was just going nuts about aha moments, aha moments, aha moments. And then, of course, then, it's a big old fancy, it's a piece of swag, me, I love swag. And who doesn't love like a cool spinny thing? But anyways, what this is, so Ahalogy is a company that they just got started in 2012, and they basically went all in on Pinterest. And so they do branding, content, paid strategies, but they basically do all things Pinterest. Check out their website. I think it's Ahalogy. Yeah, it's just ahalogy.com, ahalogy.com. It's cool. One thing I dig about them is that they are kick-ass sharers in the way that they not only telling their own story and sharing their own tips and tools, but they're sharing a bunch of news that's going on out in the community and other people's news resources for stories about they're having about Pinterest and stats and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then they also have a hub for where you can become a content provider. And essentially the content that you're doing, you can partner with them and be out in their content library and become one of their partners and have other people share your content. So that's legit for me. They're not only helping people create content, but then they're also helping really people that are creating a kick-ass content share that and have that be a resource to other companies that maybe don't have content generators or content curators of their own. So anyways, what this is it's a good old calendar, which I come from a print media background, and so trust me, I have laid out a few editorial calendars in my day, and salespeople love good editorial calendar. But what's really cool about this tool is essentially it is a January, February, March, April, May calendar. Obviously, it's 2015, and it has a little month calendar on the back, but what it is essentially you kind of look at, what I love about it is that it's a 3-month little window. So it's kind of hard to tell, but essentially as you move the wheel, it just kind of keeps scoping out like 3 months as you go around, right? And too many, and obviously remember this is a conference for bloggers, so they are just content crazy, right? That's what they're doing for a living. So what's cool about this whole 3-year scope is that so many businesses get caught in the right now with social media. And they're like, what are we posting today? And I'll see a lot of social media pros. Now in their defense, clients suck. Let's just, clients can be awful, right? So, you're trying to get the client out ahead. You're trying to get the client, to get stuff approved and signed off on, 5, 6 weeks, 7 weeks in advance. But it's hard. It's hard to do that because it's hard. There are sometimes, clients are stuck in the right now. Sometimes with social media, it's such this right now buzz, this right now, that it's hard to remember that as a business, a blogger, independent business, whether you're doing B2B or B2C, you have got to have a plan, right? Yes, social media is on the fly. Some of the best content is on the fly and in the moment, but content that is specifically, most likely going after really driving revenue and reach, specifically revenue, you gotta have a plan, right? Because you don't want to put all this time and energy into a post or a pin or a tweet campaign and just have all that time and energy like just kind of disappear down the wall or disappear down the news feed, right? So if you do a plan like this, for example, it says in January, Obviously, Valentine's Day is in the forefront, but here comes Easter, St. Patrick's Day. You're coming out of Super Bowl. You're getting ready to head into March Madness. You know, as you spin, a whole width of Easter. You know, they're showing really what I love about this is they're showing the rev up and the roll out of event marketing. So if you're marketing around an event specifically, you know, you don't want to just be like Valentine's Day and you want to be like, it's on actual February 14th, which is a couple weeks from now. Surprise, you're doing a post on Valentine's Day on February 14th. Well, that's awesome. You and everybody else. So I hope you didn't spend a whole lot of time and money on that. You know, that would be a big bust. Not that you can't just go say happy Valentine's Day out on your social media channels. I'm not saying you can't do that, but if you're planning on making money or growing your revenue or your reach with that one post, you're going to be sadly mistaken. You can see here they've got Valentine's Day. It looks like it's over a 6-week period, right? I mean, everybody complains, oh, the Halloween stuff is already in the stores, or Halloween's not even here yet and we're already seeing Christmas in the stores. Well, that's the buying cycle, right? It's not like it's you know, all of a sudden it's December 24th and we all want to see Christmas stuff and be able to buy Christmas stuff to decorate our houses and all that. Same kind of thing. If Valentine's Day is an event or is a holiday that your business can leverage and join in on the Valentine's Day conversation and sell your products or services or grow your audience, then you want to rev up to that and then, you know, have the blitz be happening around Valentine's Day, and don't forget the rollout. A lot of companies do the rev up. They do, you know, 2-3 posts leading into it, and then the actual event happens, and then boom, they have no rollout plan. They have no how to go out and scoop up and remarket. I mean, that's the technical term, is you would say remarket. So you gathered a bunch of audience, or you gathered a bunch of emails, or you gathered a bunch of followers, and they go, great, now we have all these followers, and then off to the next campaign, and you haven't really planned what that rollout is. And so that's what I just, you know, I had to dig through my binder and find this after talking to the guys, because I was like, you know I have that because I save them all. But it's still badass. You know, a couple years later, it's obviously the calendar on the back's dated, but what's cool is that this tool is still relevant, because obviously the holidays are still on the same months. I mean, you could even squeeze in, I mean, heck, they could even have some blanks. You could squeeze in maybe your own grand opening or whatever. But I love the fact that if all it really did was remind you, or maybe bring you to the idea, the fact that you need to be revving up and rolling out on these events, that your social media needs to have a plan, and that if you spend a lot of time and money on one post or one pin or one tweet, or specifically, I guess it'd be more appropriate for a blog, you know, if you spend a lot of time and money on that blog, don't pin it or post it or tweet it once. Have a plan, roll it out, share it 5 or 6 times with different statuses or different headlines or even different images. So if, you know, or for example, like if you had like 14 ways you could fall in love with your, I don't know, all over again. I'm sorry, my brain not working on that. But don't just share the blog that says 14 ways for Valentine's Day or whatever that is, but have that one post, but share it 14 times. Share out number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Put together 14 images or a set of images, you know. Don't just have one image and blast people with it 20 times. You know, create series, create things that you can do to stretch your content, just like this calendar shows, rev up and roll out into that content. So again, Ahalogy, I just went online onto their website. It's tiny up at the top, but they have a 2016 media consumption study that I just downloaded. I haven't had a chance to take a look at it yet, but again, Kickass on their part. They're sharing content, they're sharing resources, they're sharing tools, and I love the fact that they just kind of went all in on Pinterest. So that is awesome. I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to, like I said, I was there with the Debt Free Guys. Find them debtfreeguys.com, and they're pretty much at Debt Free Guys for everywhere, all over social. And they are personal finance pros. They've been in the business on the corporate side for a long, long time, and they launched their own company a few years ago, and they've gone kind of all in on their personal finance blogging and personal finance coaching. And again, we went to this FinCon event, and I just wanted to give FinCon a little bit of a shout out real quick on something else I thought that was awesome at the event. And so you get the booklet with has, the schedule and the maps, of all that kind of stuff. But I kept this one I kept their program. I mean, I've been to hundreds of events. I've tossed all of them. I don't even know if I have another event conference catalog in my collection, unless it was my own conference maybe, but I kept this one, and I kept it for two reasons. And one is, I freaking love this. In the back, they had a ton of speakers. They had like, I don't know, it looks like 50, 60 speakers, because they had panels and all kinds of stuff, but they had a little picture profile for everybody, if you can see that. They had a picture profile for everybody, their web name, their website, and their Twitter handle. The Twitter was like nuts at this event. But I love the fact that in their little walk around book, they just had pictures. So you saw them walking around the event, you knew who they were. And then their Twitter handle. So you could just go and just freaking line up all these people and create a Twitter feed, create a Twitter list. Really jump in on the conversation, and then basically connect instantly with anybody that you wanted to connect with. So, again, rock star way to promote your speakers, because again, guess what? That's what the speakers are there for. My clients, the Debt Free guys, they were speakers at the event. They went to the event on their dime. They donated their time. I think they got the tickets to the event free, but ultimately, the speakers are there largely at their own cost, and so what they really want is to be connected and promote and grow their brand and stuff. So I just thought that was incredible. And the other thing is that I don't know how effective it necessarily was, except for it caught my attention, but they did like, they did stories, which I thought was pretty interesting for a blogging community. I thought it was pretty interesting that they did a printed magazine almost. They had like 7 or 8 stories, little short, quick kind of how-to stories from some of their top speakers and partners. So I kept it for that reason too, just because they were really cool, like quick little tips stories. I don't know, I thought that was really unique and interesting. And again, it was something that made me keep it. But again, really the number one thing was they had all these just great ways to connect with people. So what does that mean for small businesses? And because that's what this is all about. What does that mean to a small business? I don't know how many times I go to a company's website and they don't have their team on their site. They have maybe the CEOs. Marketing people are usually pretty good about having their teams up there, or communications companies, but then it's locked and loaded. Like, you can't get their email, you can't get their Twitter, you can't get their LinkedIn, or you can't connect with them in any way. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, if you've got 50 awesome people working for your company, get your company directory out there, right? And so I used to work for a newspaper company. It was huge. Like, you could find all of us everywhere, anyhow, anyway, anytime, right? But I'm amazed at how many small businesses don't, talk about, wow. Even if you weren't sure about the value of this, or you had to like bring this back to show to your boss who was there, how it just is like, wow, they were like 6 pages deep in total badasses at this conference. And then here's exactly how to get directly in contact with them. So as a small business, medium-sized business, whatever business, show the strength of your team, right? Show the strength of your team, and make it easy for people to do business with you. I don't know how many times I've tried to like get a hold of somebody, and obviously, if you're super sought after, writer, reporter, I don't know any writers, reporters that don't want to be contacted, but I guess, you want some kind of anonymity. I don't know. Ultimately, you want people to connect with you and do business with you. So if they feel like they can talk to Bob and they want to reach out to Bob, and, because Bob, went to the same college they went to, or whatever, I don't know, talks about the Broncos, or talks about their same sports team on Twitter, I don't know. So unless there's obviously, you got to be careful as a company for, privacy issues and stuff. But I don't know. I loved this. I loved that it was easy just to connect. So I wanted to give a shout out to FinCon, just because that's where I found out about Ahalogy. And that's it. So again, if you're jamming on Pinterest, check these guys out. Go to their website, mostly just because they've got a ton of resources and a lot of really good stats and facts. And obviously they've got this 2016 survey, and you could download that and get the info and get the 411 on Pinterest and make a plan for your social media content. You can always change it, but make a plan. Don't forget to do the rev up and the rollout on major events, and Valentine's Day is in like 13 days, I think, or 12 days. I don't even know what day it is. So if you think you can make some bucks or grow your audience around Valentine's Day, then I'd get real hot. So anyways, that's it. That's it for me. I'm Carlene Clearwater with Kickass Marketing and Creative. And this is my Throwback Thursday, Friday, not Friday. Throwback Thursday Facebook Live video series. There, I said it. So again, I'll see you guys here next Thursday. Have a great weekend, and get on out there and kick some ass.